Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's another edition of Rocky's World. Okay, haven't you ever just wondered to stop technology altogether? I do. Technology can be good and bad. I remember when video games were much simpler, when kids didn't need technology and kids weren't fat and kids weren't overweight and kids were actually playing with sticks using their imaginative brains. Now, kids don't use any imagination whatsoever today. If you can think it, you can find it on Google. A kid will tell the teacher complete bullshit. Tell Google. Listen, you little bastards. Google ain't everything. Google is actually not. It's not. Some shit's not accurate. You know, you can't find every accurate thing on the internet. I don't know about high school nowadays. I don't know if it's all on computer now or there still is textbooks. I remember in 2004 to 7 we had textbooks. We were learning from a book. You read a book, not an e-note or a notebook or any of that bullshit. We didn't have tablets. We barely had internet. I'm not that old, I'm 28, but still, we barely had the internet. I didn't get a cell phone until I was 13 from Cricket. I see these little bastards running around all the time with fucking tablets and bullshit and cell phones at 10 years old. Can you believe that? People have cell phones at 10 years old. When I was 10 years old, I was playing fucking outside. Imagine I was a fucking cop or my friends was a robber or some bullshit like that. But it's just that kids are getting fatter because of technology. Kids are getting unhealthy because parents don't want to cook no more. It's easier to go outside and go buy McDonald's, go buy fast food. Trust me, no one wants that bullshit. I may sound angry a lot, but this country is going to hell, or it is in hell. Kids are outsmarting their parents, I see kids a lot, talking back to their parents, blackmailing their parents into bullshit. I hear it a lot at Walmart. You can't spank me, I have a phone, I'll call CPS on you. Where the fuck do they learn this shit from? Internet? We're giving kids too much technology power. It's okay if it's used right, but kids misuse everything like kids will always do. If we teach them how to use it right, they won't misuse it, but parents are too fucking lazy nowadays. They want to set their kids up in a fucking TV or a tablet or a fucking cell phone and say, here, go find information, go look up this, go look for yourself. Parents don't want to teach their kids no more. Teachers don't want to teach the kids no more. Hell, teachers want to put you up on a fucking computer and say, look it up yourself or learn it yourself. We actually had to go to a magical place called the library. You know, and the library is a magical place with books, and I'm not making this shit up. It really exists. It still exists, but people probably look up porn there nowadays on the phone, on the internet. And there's hobos. It's a natural rest stop for hobos. They just go in there and sleep all fucking day. No one bothers them. It stinks like shit too nowadays. All the libraries here in Arizona do, anyways. But yeah, downtown is the worst, man. There's Hobo Central, but getting out of concept. A library is a magical place with books, and it does exist. It's not in my fucking head. I didn't make this shit up, kids. If you ever get a chance, go on a field trip with mommy and daddy there, and then they'll be so fucking shocked that you want to go to a library to actually learn from a fucking book that I had to learn from. See, we had internet, but it wasn't fast loading internet. We didn't have Alienware fucking computers where it was like boom, 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 boom. But this place, actually exist. It's not my imaginary. Go to the library, look up some shit from a book. Historical shit, non-fiction, not fiction shit. And you might find maybe not the correct answers either. No one really fucking knows about history. Like, we're just fucking guessing half the time. Even if it's from the 60s. People are still living from the 60s, but still. Hell, they're fucking have Alzheimer's and shit. From the 40s on now, there's probably people not alive from the 40s or the 50s, maybe, if they're lucky. But from the 60s, go ask some old person. Go fucking... There was a project I had to do in school where we had to go with the camera and ask a bunch of old people questions about their day and if it was accurate or not, but no one knows anything. From the 1800s to now, I'm pretty sure there's nobody alive, you know, and if they are, they have severe Alzheimer's. Like, if they're 103 or 4, they have fucking severe Alzheimer's that you can't even fucking, they'll probably call you Daisy or some shit. But anyways, no one really knows 100 years ago or 200 years ago what really happened, because we're just fucking guessing half the time. Unless it's documented, but people really don't have documentation for 200 years. They're not gonna keep fucking documentation. Though the correct shit, people could fucking alter it, but go look up textbook. Maybe it might be correct, maybe not. But Google and technology, stay away from that shit, because it's gonna rot your brain. Honestly, if you don't use it correctly, it's gonna fuck you up. But if you use it correctly, it won't fuck you up too bad. But yeah, peace out, YouTube. The world needs to stop fucking counting on computers and shit like that, because everything crashes. Computers crash. Cell phones crash. Yeah, and kids want the new iPhone 5000 for Christmas. If you don't get it, you're a piece of shit, Dad. I don't think that you should give a kid an iPhone 5000 for Christmas. Give him a book. Best fucking gift you can give a kid is a book. Fiction or non-fiction, give him a book. Books will make you smarter than any technology out there. You can read and you can go places in a book that technology cannot give you. Technology will show you the places you can go, but a book, you can physically be there in your brain. You can use your brain and imagine hills, hillsides, Hawaii, the tropics, the fucking Caribbean, magical places. A book will take you further than any technology out there. And playing outside, imagine playing cops and robbers outside, Indians and cowboys, soldiers, doctors, nurses, anything you can do outside that you can use your brain to imagine, instead of going on fucking Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War, Grand Theft Auto. Instead of doing that, play outside with your friends. Hell, you might even lose some weight. Play outside, stop being fat lards, kids, and start fucking using your brains more. Because we're going to get to a point, if you ever seen WALL-E, we're going to get to a point where we're all going to be fat fucking pieces of shits, sitting on a fucking chair, and that's all we're going to be able to do is iPhone, tablets, getting feeding tubes in us. People are getting dumber. As America, as this country gets older, as every country, as the world gets older, we're gonna get dumber. We're gonna get smarter and weaker, instead of being weaker and half-ass smart. But we're gonna get wiser and dumber, really. So peace out, YouTube.